Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is the Nicholas Prostakis Chelsea Football Channel, and today it's obviously match reaction for the just happened Astana versus Chelsea game. Of course, Chelsea 3, Astana 1. It can't really get as easy as that. I mean, this was a smooth sailing game. We obviously all thought it might have been a little bit more of a tougher game, especially because, we were sending so many youth players. I mean, was there even any actual. I don't even think there was a single person from our first team on the bench in this game. Maybe Harvey Vale's the only guy I think who had played any minutes that were past the youth level. So, you were looking at the subs and you were thinking to yourself, well, if things start to go bad, you're going to have to bring on a youth player and hope he can make a difference. So it really got to a tough point, but it didn't end up mattering. The team we put out at the start of the first half got the job done in the first half. It didn't even end up mattering in the second half. We could have just walked away from our TVs, came back, and would have saw the same exact thing or same exact game. So starting from the top, the first goal of the game is a Mark Guiu goal. I had him scoring in this one. I had him listed down. I would say the goal was brilliant. It's a really good, well worked solo goal by Mark Guiu. So props to him. Getting across the right hand side, slotting in the back of the net. Then you got the second goal, of course, from again Mark Guiu. Really, it's like I don't know if they're calling it a goal by him or it was an own goal, but still another really good goal. Um, Third goal was a Renato Vega corner free header, not enough marking. Vega puts it in the bottom left corner, and that should be your ball game until Tomasov, I think was his name, Tomasov, I think for Astana. He absolutely Renato Vega doesn't do good enough job closing him down, and he puts it to his left foot, all in off the post. Jorgensen can't do anything about it. I don't blame him for this one. I blame the defense in front of him. He should have kept him outside the box. Didn't end up happening. It's a 3-1. And in the second half, we basically are just smooth sailing. Not as many chances. They obviously played a little bit better in the second half, Astana, but it didn't end up mattering. We dominated both halves, possession wise, and it was just a smooth sailing victory. But let's get into the lineup. We'll talk more in depth about who played and how they played. So here's your lineup: Jorgensen, Vega, Tosin, Disasi, Achiempong, Dewsbury Hall, Raksaki. Uh, I almost said Keanu George again. I did that the other day. I'm not doing it again. It's Tyreek George, Carney Chukwemeka, Pedro Neto, and Mark Guiu. So, what are the first main things we take away from this? I gave everybody above a 7. I don't think anybody played bad. I don't think anybody. Well, that's not true. I think some players played better than the others, but I don't think a single player had an average game, and I don't think some players had below average games. I think everybody played above average today, and that starts from the back. Jorgensen gets a 7. I think the reason he gets such a high average rating from me is because he was so good at ball playing again. There's something about this guy and the way he looks when he ball plays. I love the way he moves his feet, the way he gets sell defenders into thinking he's going to make a pass, but he doesn't do it. He's very composed when he makes his pass. He's very composed when he's even dribbling outside of his own, like going half, not half, own 18 in a way. You see it. We saw it in this game especially. So really good stuff from him. Vega could have gave him a higher rating. I think there's a few times though he lapsed in judgment, especially for the goal that he allowed for Tomasov to make. And then there was one where he tried to backheel it to an opponent, and it just simply did not work. And they started to counterattack because of it. There's a few times that I wasn't really happy with Vega, but I got to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think outside of that, he was brilliant. His inversion into the midfield was really good today. I think he was probably one of the better players out of the defense. But I think the next two guys, Tosin and Disasi, both were very good in a back line. I think they both did pretty well together. They aren't really at fault for the goals. So in a way, they kept themselves a clean sheet in a way, but I think both of them were very, very good. They could not get past the Astana attackers. Could not get past them to save their life. For not a second thought, I didn't think that Astana was good enough to get past them in the first place. It really shouldn't have mattered whether you were playing B team only, and it showed in this one that they were too much of a quality for them. Achiempong, I gave him a 7 as well. I think, like I said, the entire back line was pretty good, but Achiempong I thought was very, very good. I actually think he was the best of the, I guess, under 21 players to come into this lineup. I think he was very composed. There's times that he collected the ball right in front of the defender, made a good pass, or he'd even dribble out. You saw that one dribble, he took it into the box himself, tried to whip it across. It didn't really end up working, but you saw he got past a few defenders. He's just he's quick. He's better at dribbling than you'd expect him to be. But dude, Very solid defensive game for him. I'm very happy he's the back of the lineup, and hopefully he'll start to get more playing time throughout the year. Raksaki was another one. I'm very happy to see how Raksaki played. I really wasn't expecting him to get the start until I remember that, or I didn't get remembered. I got reminded by someone on TikTok that that Kasade wasn't playing, and I was like, well, it's either Raksaki or it's Keno Dyer. Of course, Keanu Dyer came in later, but it ended up being Raksaki who started. Of course, he got taken off for Keanu Dyer, but he played great. Raksaki was brilliant. I can't blame him. He was the way he'd get around, the way he'd hold up the ball, the way he'd make his passes. He looked so composed. He didn't really have some false passes. He didn't have many passes that led to interceptions. He was brilliant in this one. I think that you got to give him the credit where credit's due. I think he's 19 years old, a guy who's really taken his chances, I think, in the Conference League, and he's looked pretty good. I mean, the Noah game, he had, I think, a few shots, didn't get subbed in the Heidenheim game, but really good stuff from Raksaki. I'd like to see more game time out of him in the game against Shamrock Rovers. I'd like to see him play next week. Dewsbury Hall, I gave him the same rating as Raksaki because I think they both did around the same amount of the job. Maybe Dewsbury Hall could deserve an 8, but I think his finishing was a little poor. He should have scored a goal, I think, the one where he got past a few defenders. I don't know why he didn't just chip it above the goalie's head. It looked like he had a chance to score. Didn't take it. I think he was about average, though. I said no, he's about average, but I think average for the sevens. I think for that's what I'm saying. I think he was all right. I think he did what he's been doing in the Conference League all season. That's about all I can say about him. Tyreek on the left, I think he was probably the worst of the 3 starting U21s. I think Raksaki and Achiampong were better. That doesn't mean I don't think Tyreek was good. I think Tyreek took his chance, but I also think he could have done better with his chance. I think at times he still shows he's a little too selfish with the ball at his feet. I think he needs to find the next pass more. He really is trying to find that Chelsea goal. He really could have had it today. But I really think he was pretty solid. His dribbling, getting past defenders, the way he is one-on-one is brilliant. He's a very good one-on-one attacking winger. Him and Noni Madueke are very similar in that way. But he was very solid. Give him his credit. Carney had a very good first half was a bit mediocre. Really didn't notice him. Second half, I think like the first 25 minutes until he got subbed out, he looked great. He was great, getting well on the turn. He was his touches were really good. His passes were really good 1-2s with a few players. You almost saw him score. So Carney was very good. It's really sad to see him go, however. Neto gets an 8 for his first half appearance. Of course, he only played the first 45 because Otto Ampa went on and came on. And Neto was brilliant. He shows why he's not playing in this competition anymore. It's that simple. He was absolutely dicing them to pieces. If they gave Guiu that other goal, then he's got 2 assists, I think. It depends on how they would count the deflection. I don't know if it would go to Neto or not. But that would be 2 assists for Neto in 45 minutes. He was brilliant. The only reason, of course, Neto even played in this game is because he's suspended for Sunday's match. That's the only reason he even played in this one. So give Neto his credit as well. Very good stuff. And then Mark Guiu up top gets a 9. I thought the first half he was brilliant. Of course, he pressed really well. I thought that, but that's what he's been doing ever since he got here. But the 2 goals he scored were brilliant. The first one is immaculate from Mark Guiu. The way he went around the defender, the way he held them off and still got off a right foot shot on the right-hand side of the net. That's a really tough goal to score, especially it's really good stuff from an 18-year-old, man. And the second one, he's just attacking the box at the right spot for Neto. Of course, it falls lucky and hits his back, but at the same time, he's in the right place, right time. You know, if he's not there and he's not making that move, even if it does deflect off his back, it's really good stuff from Mark Guiu to be there. So credit where credit is due to Mark Guiu as well. He gets a 9. Brilliant stuff. And also Ampa, I think I gave a 6 off the bench. I don't know if I put it, but I think I'd give him a 6. I thought he was attacking well. He showed his pace well. He showed his dribbling well. But he really did show that he should stick to the U21s for now. I think of the guys who came on, he was probably, I guess you could say mediocre. But I thought he did a decent enough job to warrant, coming on and getting a start at the winger position. I think that, of course, with Neto, what were you going to see? So Otto Ampa, decent job. Decent overall job in this one. So that highlights what we think about this match. I already talked about it a little bit, but this was as smooth sailing as it gets. I really never saw a way that Chelsea were really under threat. Of course, there was a few chances that they had the Kazakhstani side from Astana, but I never really, I was never feeling threatened. Even after he scored the goal, it was so late in the first half. I was like, well, it sucks. We're not going to get the clean sheet, but now just don't concede another one. And that's exactly what happened. They didn't concede another one, and they held out the victory. And you go now, and your 8-hour flight back home, and now probably every single one of these players doesn't even play in the game on Sunday. So that's what's the positive thing about this, is that none of these guys are probably even going to be playing on Sunday. Every single player who played last Sunday is going to play probably on Sunday again. So that's what's really good about this, is you got the rest for the players who needed it, and you still get the victory on Thursday. So that's the perfect way to look at this. I'm very, very happy with the overall lineup. I'm still very, very happy that they performed as well as they did in the temperatures that were, of course, I think they were saying minus 11. The pitch was like a rock. The way some of those passes were moving and then just stopping, like the pitch was literally just a giant rock. It wouldn't go anywhere. But really, really good stuff in this one. I think that Chelsea did a really wonderful job handling it, and the youth players took their chance. So can't be anybody more negatives. Match preview probably out tomorrow for Brentford, back at Stamford Bridge. Up the Blues. See you guys in the next one. Peace.